Have you ever looked at a menu in a dimly lit restaurant and felt a sudden rising panic because the words just wouldn't come into focus no matter how much you squinted? Or maybe you have noticed that driving at night has become a source of anxiety with the glare of oncoming headlights turning into blinding starbursts that make you want to grip the steering wheel until your knuckles turn white. It is a terrifying thought, isn't it? The idea that the world is slowly losing its sharpness, its color, and its clarity. We often tell ourselves that this is just a normal part of aging. That fading vision is the inevitable price we pay for getting older. But what if I told you that is not entirely true? What if the blurry vision, the dry eyes, and even the fear of macular degeneration aren't just about the number on your birthday cake, but about a specific daily fuel? Your eyes are desperate for a fuel that most of us are unknowingly skipping every single day. Imagine if you could protect your sight, sharpen your focus, and maintain your independence well into your 80s and 90s just by adding one simple, delicious habit to your daily routine. Today, we are going to dive deep into the science of vision preservation, inspired by the groundbreaking work of experts like Dr. William Li, who believe that food as medicine. We are going to uncover the hidden nutritional gaps that leave our eyes vulnerable, and more importantly, we are going to fix them. Before we dive into this eye-opening journey, if you care about staying healthy, independent, and seeing the world in all its beautiful detail for years to come, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. We share the kind of deep research-backed senior health tips that your standard checkups often overlook. And let me ask you a quick question to kick things off. Are you watching this video from the United States, the UK, Australia, or perhaps somewhere else entirely? Drop a comment below and tell me where you are from. I'm always so curious to see how far our community of proactive seniors reaches around the globe. Now let's get into the heart of the matter. The problem isn't usually that your eyes are broken. The problem is often that they are starving. Your eyes are incredibly complex organs, hungry for very specific nutrients to repair the damage caused by sunlight blue light from our screens and the simple wear and tear of time. The issue is that the modern diet, even what we consider a healthy diet, often misses the mark completely on what the retina actually needs to regenerate. We are going to walk through the specific components of this vision-saving habit, step by step. Let's start with the first crucial element, something that acts like internal sunglasses for your eyes. We are talking about dark leafy greens, but specifically we are talking about a nutrient called lutein. Now I know what you might be thinking, spinach and kale again. It sounds like the advice we have heard 1,000 times. But stay with me because understanding why this matter changes everything. Lutein is a carotenoid, a type of pigment. When you eat it, it doesn't just float around your body randomly. It has a specific destination. It travels directly to the back of your eye, to the macula. This is the sweet spot of your vision, the part responsible for seeing fine details and faces. Think of lutein as a protective shield. Throughout your life, your eyes are bombarded by high-energy light waves. Over decades, this exposure creates oxidative stress, which is basically like rust forming on the cells of your eyes. Lutein absorbs that dangerous blue light before it can damage the sensitive machinery of your retina. A study from Harvard found that people who ate the most lutein-rich foods had a 40% lower risk of advanced macular degeneration. That is nearly cutting your risk in half just by changing what is on your fork. But here's the catch, and this is where the habit part comes in. You cannot just eat a salad once a week and expect miracles. The half-life of lutein in your body is relatively short. You need to replenish it daily. It is about consistency. Imagine your eyes are like a high-performance engine. You wouldn't put oil in your car once a year and expect it to run smoothly right. You need to keep the levels up. So the first part of our daily habit is incorporating a cup of cooked spinach, kale, or collard greens into your routine. And notice I said cooked. Cooking these greens actually breaks down the tough cell walls and makes the lutein much easier for your body to absorb. If you are eating raw spinach salads every day thinking you are doing the right thing, you might only be absorbing a fraction of the nutrients. A light steam or a quick saute is all it takes to unlock the medicine within the leaf. Moving on to the second component, which works hand in hand with the first. This one is often the missing link. We talk about lutein, but its best friend is zeaxanthin. While lutein is abundant in green foods, zeaxanthin is found in bright orange and yellow vegetables. Orange bell peppers are the superstar here. In fact, an orange bell pepper has vastly more zeaxanthin than almost any other vegetable. Why does this matter to you? Well, have you ever walked from a bright room into a dark one and felt completely blind for a few minutes? That slow adaptation to darkness is a sign that your photoreceptors are struggling to regenerate. Zeaxanthin helps protect the cells that allow you to see in low light conditions. It also helps us with contrast sensitivity. Imagine looking at a white curb on a gray street. If your contrast sensitivity is poor, you might miss that step and take a fall. That is how vital this nutrient is for your safety and mobility. Here's a practical tip. It is very difficult to get enough zeaxanthin from corn or eggs alone, although they are good sources. The orange pepper is the efficiency hack. It is crunchy, it is sweet, and you can slice it up and keep it in the fridge for a snack. Just half a pepper a day can significantly boost your levels. It is such a small change. Picture this. You are preparing your lunch, and instead of reaching for a bag of chips or a plain piece of bread, you grab a few slices of fresh, crisp orange pepper. It tastes fresh, it hydrates you, and silently it is rebuilding the pigment density in the back of your eye. Now, this brings us to the third and perhaps most critical part of this habit, the one that ties it all together and is the most common mistake seniors make. You can eat all the spinach and peppers in the world, but if you make this one mistake, you are flushing those benefits down the drain. The mistake is eating these vegetables without fat. Lutein and zeaxanthin are fat-soluble nutrients. That means they simply cannot get into your bloodstream without a carrier vehicle, and that carrier is fat. For years, we were told that fat was the enemy. We bought fat-free dressings, we ate dry salads, and we thought we were being heart healthy. But for your eyes, that was a disaster. If you eat a bowl of steamed spinach without any fat, your body might absorb almost none of the good stuff. You need healthy oil to unlock the door. This is where the liquid gold comes in: extra virgin olive oil, or perhaps slices of avocado. Dr. William Li often talks about the power of healthy fats to support cell membranes. Your brain and your eyes are largely made of fat. They need it to function. So the actionable habit here is a simple rule. Never eat your eye-protecting vegetables naked. Always dress them. Drizzle a tablespoon of high-quality olive oil over your greens. Add a few slices of avocado to your salad. Not only does this make the food taste infinitely better, because let's be honest, dry kale is a chore to eat, but it increases the absorption of those critical vitamins by up to 15 times. Imagine getting 15 times the benefit from the same bowl of food just by adding a splash of oil. It is working smarter, not harder. Let's shift gears slightly to something that affects the very blood supply of your eyes. The eye is fed by a network of incredibly tiny, delicate blood vessels. These vessels are microscopic, some so small that red blood cells have to line up single file just to squeeze through. This is where the concept of angiogenesis comes in, which is the growth and maintenance of blood vessels. If these vessels become clogged, inflamed, or damaged, the retina starves. It doesn't get the oxygen it needs to function. This is often the root cause of vision decline in conditions like diabetic retinopathy or glaucoma. To protect these tiny vessels, we need omega-3 fatty acids. You have heard of them for your heart, but they are just as crucial for your eyes. In fact, high levels of omega-3s can help prevent dry eye syndrome, a condition that plagues so many of us over 60. You know that gritty, sandy feeling in your eyes when you wake up or after reading for 20 minutes. That is often due to inflammation in the tear glands and a lack of quality oil in your tear film. Tears aren't just water, they have an oil layer that keeps them from evaporating. Without omega-3s, that oil layer breaks down and your eyes dry out. So part of our daily vision protecting strategy involves walnuts or fatty fish. If you eat fish, aiming for salmon sardines or mackerel twice a week is fantastic. But for a daily habit, walnuts are your best friend. They are easy, they don't require cooking, and a small handful provides a significant dose of plant-based omega-3s. Plus, they contain vitamin E, another potent antioxidant that stops the chain reaction of free radical damage in the eye. Picture this scenario. You're sitting in your favorite armchair reading a book. Usually, after a chapter, you have to stop and rub your eyes because they burn. Now imagine after a few weeks of adding walnuts and proper hydration to your diet, you realize you have read 50 pages and your eyes still feel fresh and comfortable. That is the power of reducing inflammation from the inside out. It is not about using more eye drops, which only treat the symptom. It is about changing the composition of your cells so the dryness doesn't happen in the first place. I want to take a brief pause here because I know I am throwing a lot of information at you. Are you still with me? Take a deep breath. It can be overwhelming to think about all the things we should be doing. But remember, we are building one coherent habit here. A meal that includes greens, a colorful vegetable, healthy fat, and maybe a sprinkle of nuts. It is actually quite simple when you look at it as a plate of food rather than a chemistry experiment. If you are finding these tips useful so far and you're feeling motivated to try them, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps spread the word to other seniors who might be struggling with their vision and don't realize that help is in their refrigerator. And if you haven't yet, do subscribe because we are just getting started on this list. And the next point is a major one that involves something you probably do every morning. Let's talk about the villain of the story. We have talked about what to add, but to truly protect your vision, there is one thing we need to drastically reduce. This is the anti-habit that undermines all your hard work. It is refined sugar. You might be wondering what a donut or a sugary soda has to do with your eyesight. The answer is glycation. When you have high blood sugar, the excess glucose molecules attach themselves to proteins in your body, forming sticky, harmful byproducts. This process is essentially caramelization, and you are slowly cooking your cells from the inside. In the eyes, this is catastrophic. The tiny blood vessels in the retina are particularly sensitive to high sugar. They become brittle, they leak, and they can even sprout abnormal, fragile new vessels that bleed and obscure your visions, a hallmark of diabetic retinopathy. But even if you aren't diabetic, blood sugar spikes are dangerous. They cause the lens of your eye to swell, changing your prescriptions and making things blurry. Have you ever noticed that after a week of poor eating, maybe around the holiday, your vision seems a bit off? That isn't a coincidence. It is your biology reacting to the sugar load. So the daily habit we are cultivating involves a swap. Instead of a sweet pastry for breakfast, which spikes your sugar, we choose complex carbohydrates or berries. Blueberries, in particular, are phenomenal for the eyes. They contain anthocyanins, the pigment that gives them their deep purple color. These compounds have been shown to help regenerate rhodopsin, a protein in the eye that is essential for night vision. During World War II, British pilots reportedly ate bilberry jam, a cousin of the blueberry, to improve their night vision. during missions. While the science on that specific anecdote is debated, modern research confirms that the antioxidants in purple berries improve blood flow to the optic nerve. So let's paint a picture of the perfect vision protecting morning. Instead of toast with sugary jam, you have a bowl of oatmeal or yogurt topped with a handful of fresh blueberries and some crushed walnuts. It is delicious, it keeps your blood sugar stable, and it actively feeds your eyes the nutrients they need to handle the glare of the day. Now, there is another aspect of vision health that isn't about food, but about how we use our eyes. We live in a digital world. Even as seniors, we are on tablets, smartphones, and computers more than ever. This leads to digital eye strain. We tend to blink less when we look at screens. Normally, you blink about 15 to 20 times a minute. When you are staring at a screen, that number drops to 5 or 6. Your eyes dry out and the muscles that focus your lens get stuck in a contracted position. The habit to adopt here is the 20-20-20 rule. It is incredibly simple. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. That is it. You don't need special equipment. You just need to break the stare. When you look into the distance, you're allowing the ciliary muscles in your eyes to relax. It is like unclenching a fist. If you hold a fist for an hour, your hand will cramp. If you stare at a screen for an hour, your eyes cramp. This simple pause resets the system. I want you to try it right now as you are listening to me. Lift your eyes from the screen or wherever you are looking. Look out a window or down the hallway. Focus on an object far away. Take a breath. Blink slowly. Do you feel that slight release of tension behind your eyes? That is your vision thanking you. Incorporating this tiny habit throughout your day can prevent the headaches and fatigue that so often ruin our evenings. We have covered a lot of ground, and it might feel a bit unsettling to realize how much our daily choices affect our sight. It is scary to think that a lifetime of sugary snacks or skipping veggies might have contributed to how you feel today. But I want to reassure you, the human body is miraculous. It is always trying to heal. It is always trying to repair. It is never too late to start giving it the right tools. Even if you have already noticed some decline, improving your circulation and nutrient intake can help preserve what you have and maximize your remaining vision. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. That is a recipe for failure. Just start with one thing. Maybe this week your goal is just to add that tablespoon of olive oil to your vegetables. Maybe next week you start buying orange peppers instead of green ones. Small, consistent steps are what build a mountain of progress. Imagine walking up the porch steps easily again, seeing the edges of the stairs clearly. Imagine threading a needle without frustration, or reading a menu without having to ask someone for help. That independence is what we are fighting for. Let's talk briefly about hydration because it is the simplest intervention of all. The eye is filled with fluid. The vitreous humor, the jelly-like substance that gives the eye its shape, is 99% water. As we age, this jelly can shrink and liquefy, pulling on the retina and causing floaters, those little squiggly lines you might see drifting across your vision. While some floaters are normal, staying hydrated helps maintain the health of this fluid environment. Many seniors are chronically dehydrated because our sense of thirst diminishes with age. We just don't feel thirsty until we are already parched. The habit here is to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, before the coffee, before the breakfast. Your body has gone 8 hours without water while you slept. Your eyes are dry. Hydrate them from the inside. It helps flush out waste products and ensures that the tear production system has enough raw material to work with throughout the day. So let's recap this comprehensive vision-saving protocol we have built together. We are avoiding the vision-destroying spikes of sugar. We are embracing the sunglasses found in dark leafy greens like cooked spinach. We are boosting our night vision and contrast sensitivity with the zeaxanthin in the orange peppers. We are soothing inflammation and dry eyes with the omega-3s in walnuts and fatty fish. We are ensuring we actually absorb all these nutrients by pairing them with healthy fats like olive oil. We are strengthening our optic nerve with the antioxidants in blueberries. And we are remembering to blink and hydrate to keep the mechanical parts of our eyes moving smoothly. Sounds like a list, but really it is a lifestyle. It is a way of eating that says, I value my sight. It is about looking at a plate of colorful food and seeing it not just as calories, but as information for your genes and medicine for your cells. As we come to the end of this video, I want to leave you with a thought. I know getting older is hard. The aches, the stiffness, the fear that the world is shrinking and can be heavy. Sometimes it feels like a losing battle, but you are not alone in this fight. Millions of us are on this journey together, navigating the changes in our bodies. But remember, growing older might be inevitable, but growing weaker does not have to be. Your body is resilient. It is waiting for you to lead it. Every time you choose the walnuts over the cookie, every time you choose the spinach over the fries, you're casting a vote for your future independence. You are telling your body that you are not done yet. You are telling your eyes that there are still thousands of beautiful sunsets, grandchildren's smiles, and favorite books waiting to be seen. You have the power to protect your vision. It is right there at the end of your fork. I would love to hear from you now. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Did you know about the connection between olive oil and eyesight, or was that news to you? And do you have a favorite way to cook these vision boosting foods? Share your story or your questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and honestly, your tips often teach me new things too. We are a community here learning from each other. And if you are sitting there thinking, I'm going to do this, am I going to take charge of my eye health starting today? Then I want you to type the number 1 in the comments below. Let that be your pledge to yourself. If you are skeptical or have doubts, you can type a 0. I appreciate all feedback, but if you are ready to make a change, let me see those ones. If this video helped you, if it gave you a glimmer of hope or a practical tool you can use, please hit that like button. It means the world to me, and it helps YouTube show this video to other seniors who need this message. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the important health insights that could improve your life. We have plenty more science-backed tips for thriving in your golden years coming up soon. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember your independence is carried by your legs, but it is guided by your eyes. Keep taking those small steps for your health. They add up to giant strides in your freedom. I will see you in the next video.